The water explodes in a column of foam and fury. 50 feet of aquatic predator breach the surface like a biological missile. Its jaws, larger than a car, close around the aircraft carrier's rudder. Metal groans, bolts explode, and then, with a force that defies imagination, the Mosasaurus twists its head. The steel rudder begins to bend. Inside the ship, alarms sound and cascade. The world's largest military vessel is being attacked by something that shouldn't exist. And for the first time in its operational history, the crew of the USS Gerald R faces a threat their manuals never predicted. But how did we get to this moment? What if a Mosasaurus faced a nuclear aircraft carrier? What if the predator that dominated ancient oceans was placed against the greatest demonstration of naval power humanity has ever created? This isn't just a battle of size. It's a confrontation between two forms of aquatic supremacy. One developed by nature to hunt in the depths, another built by man to project power across the seas. The Mosasaurus, 50 feet long, 33,000 pounds, 15 tons, of pure aquatic predator. Jaws over 3 feet long filled with curved teeth designed to hold slippery prey. Swimming speed up to 31 mph in explosive bursts. Vision adapted for murky waters where light barely penetrates. Sensory organs that detect vibrations and pressure changes from miles away, and an insatiable hunger that made it the absolute terror of ancient oceans. No aquatic animal was safe when a Mosasaurus hunted. Now imagine this creature in the deep waters of the Atlantic Ocean. Dark waters, cold. And then, something new. Massive vibrations. Pressure waves like never felt before. Something enormous is moving on the surface. Larger than any whale, noisier than any storm. What if this creature was placed against a nuclear aircraft carrier, USS Gerald R. The aircraft carrier, 1,106 feet long, 100,000 tons of floating steel, houses 75 combat aircraft, crew of 4,500 people, top speed of 35 mph through 2 nuclear reactors that generate enough energy to light an entire city, and defenses that include long-range missiles, phalanx CIWS cannons capable of firing 4,500 rounds per minute, Mark 54 anti-submarine torpedoes, and an armored hull designed to withstand enemy torpedoes and naval mines. This isn't just a vessel. It's a floating military base, an island of technology capable of projecting power over entire nations. The scenario, open sea, no land in sight, just the infinite horizon and waters hiding depths of thousands of feet. The USS Gerald R. is in transit. Its nuclear engines push the giant mast through the waves. On the surface, everything seems calm. Aircraft are parked on the deck. Sailors perform routine maintenance. Another normal day at sea. But in the depths, 656 feet below, the Mosasaurus detects the vibrations. Its sensory membranes pick up the pattern of pressure waves. It's not natural, not organic, but it's big, very big. And where there's something big, there's potential for food. The Mosasaurus begins to ascend. Slow at first, conserving energy, its flippers beat in constant rhythm. Its eyes, adapted for the darkness of the depths, begin to catch the growing light from the surface. It rises faster. 328 feet deep, 164 feet, 65 feet, and then it breaks the surface. Water streams from its scales like waterfalls. Its head emerges completely, rising 10 feet above the waves. It sees the aircraft carrier. To its perception, it's a floating island, gigantic, noisy, strange, but not threatening, at least not yet. On the aircraft carrier, sonar sensors pick up the movement. The anti-submarine defense system lights up. Radar operators look at their screens. External cameras automatically rotate toward the contact. And then someone sees it. A head. Reptilian. Enormous. Emerging from the waters like something from ancient nightmares. For 3 seconds, no one speaks. No one moves. Because what they're seeing is impossible. Then training takes over. Alarms sound. The defense team is activated. The captain is notified. The Mosasaurus dives. It descends to 164 feet depth. And then it does what predators do. It investigates. It swims around the aircraft carrier, studying. Its brain, adapted for hunting, looks for patterns, weak points, vulnerable areas. It completes a full circle around the vessel, 1,600 feet of perimeter. Then it completes another circle, closer, then another, closer still. On the aircraft carrier, sonar tracks every movement. Underwater cameras try to capture images, and what they capture freezes the crew's blood. A 50-foot creature, muscular, clearly predatory, and it's circling, hunting. The captain gives the order. Prepare anti-submarine defenses, but don't fire yet. They need to understand what they're facing. The Mosasaurus finishes its third circle. It made a decision. This isn't prey. Too big, too hard. But it's also not a threat. Doesn't move like a predator. So maybe it's territory. Maybe it's competition, and competition needs to be removed. It attacks. The Mosasaurus accelerates from 6 mph to 31 mph in just 5 seconds. 33,000 pounds moving like a living torpedo. It aims for the hull below the waterline. Its head strikes the steel with brutal force. The impact creates a wave that rocks the entire ship. 100,000 tons of aircraft carrier sway perceptibly. Inside, people fall. Equipment slides. Alarms multiply. And on the hull, a dent appears. Not a perforation, not a breach, but a visible dent in 1.6-inch thick naval steel. But here's the truth. The hull holds. Reinforced naval steel, designed to withstand torpedoes carrying a ton of explosives, can absorb the impact of a dinosaur head, even at 31 MEP. The Mosasaurus recoils, stunned. It shakes its head. Pain pulses through its skull. This isn't prey. This is floating rock. Solid. Hard. But it doesn't give up. Apex predators don't give up, especially when something invades their territory. Because now the captain has no choice. The creature attacked. It's a clear threat to the safety of the ship and crew. He gives the order. Threat elimination. Protocol Alpha. An MH-60R Seahawk helicopter takes off from the deck in less than 2 minutes. Its blades cut through air as it gains altitude. In the weapons compartment, 2 Mark 54 torpedoes are mounted. Each weighs 606 pounds and contains 97 pounds of high-power explosives. Can reach speeds of 43 mph underwater and track targets using active sonar. They were designed to destroy nuclear submarines. A dinosaur, even 33,000 pounds, shouldn't stand a chance. The helicopter positions itself over the Mosasaurus's last known location. The operator drops an active sonar buoy into the water. High-frequency sound waves pulse through the ocean. They hit the Mosasaurus at 328 feet depth. The echo returns. Contact confirmed. Position locked. The operator releases the first Mark 54 torpedo. The torpedo enters the water with a clean splash. Its propulsion motor activates. Immediately, it accelerates from 0 to 43 mph. Its internal sonar begins painting the environment. It detects the target, adjusts trajectory, and pursues. The Mosasaurus feels the vibration. Something is coming. Fast. Small, but fast. It tries to maneuver. Its flippers beat forcefully. It turns left. But the torpedo adjusts. It dives deeper. But the torpedo follows. Because technology doesn't tire, doesn't hesitate, just pursues. 15 seconds later, the torpedo hits. The underwater explosion is different from explosions in air. Water doesn't compress. So energy doesn't dissipate. It propagates. A bubble of superheated gas expands at thousands of degrees Celsius. Then collapses in milliseconds, creating a second shockwave. The Mosasaurus is at the center of this. The shockwave hits the marine dinosaur with devastating force. Its internal organs, adapted for constant water pressure, are violently compressed. Blood vessels rupture. Lungs partially collapse. Blood leaks from its gills and mouth. The Mosasaurus surfaces, disoriented. Its swimming is uncoordinated. It tries to dive but loses balance, rolls sideways. The explosion damaged its vestibular system, the organs that control balance and orientation in 3 dimensions. It swims in irregular circles. Blood stains the surrounding water red. It's wounded, gravely wounded, but still alive, still functional at some level. In the helicopter, the operator observes, The target still moves, still represents a threat. He receives authorization and releases the second Mark 54 torpedo. The second torpedo enters the water, accelerates, tracks, pursues. The Mosasaurus, even wounded, tries to flee. Its flippers beat weakly. It can barely maintain direction, but survival instinct is strong. It tries to dive, tries to find depth, safety, but it's not fast enough. The second torpedo hits. Another explosion. Another underwater fireball. Another brutal shockwave. This time, the Mosasaurus is closer to the surface. The explosion's energy is amplified by proximity to the air-water interface. The marine dinosaur is launched partially out of the water by the force of the explosion. Its 33,000-pound body jumps 10 feet above the waves before falling back with a massive splash. When the water calms, the Mosasaurus floats on the surface, motionless. Its breathing is shallow, almost imperceptible. Blood flows from multiple wounds. Its flippers barely move. It's dying. On the aircraft carrier, the crew observes through binoculars and cameras. There's silence in the command center. Because even winning, even using the most advanced technology available, they just witnessed something extraordinary. A creature from an ancient era forced a nuclear aircraft carrier to use weapons designed for modern submarine warfare. A single animal made all the alarms of the most powerful vessel humanity has ever built sound. The Mosasaurus breathes one last time. A large air bubble escapes from its gills. Its eyes, adapted for the depths, look at the sky for the last time. And then, stop. The great predator of ancient oceans sinks slowly. 50 feet of history disappearing into deep waters. Nature finally reclaims what always belonged to it. The aircraft carrier won. But look at what was necessary. 2 Mark 54 torpedoes, each costing millions of dollars. A state-of-the-art anti-submarine helicopter. Complete activation of defense systems. And even so, the Mosasaurus caused structural damage to the hull. Even so, it forced a response that would normally be reserved for enemy nuclear submarines. 3 battles. 3 victories for technology. But look at the numbers. Look at what was necessary. An Apache helicopter had to spend almost all its ammunition against a single T-Rex. An M1 Abrams tank had to fire 15 cannon shots and hundreds of machine gun rounds to bring down an Ankylosaurus. A nuclear aircraft carrier had to use anti-submarine torpedoes designed for modern warfare against a single Mosasaurus. And here's what this teaches us. It's not about who wins or who loses. It's about respect. Respect for the force of nature. Respect for biological engineering that took millions of years to perfect. The T-Rex was designed by nature to be an apex predator. Every bone, every muscle, every tooth had a purpose. Survive, hunt, dominate. And even against technology that didn't exist in its wildest dreams, it fought until its last breath. The Ankylosaurus was built to be a living fortress. Its armor withstood explosions that destroy concrete bunkers. Its strategy forced a modern tank to change tactics 3 times. It proved that defense, when perfected, is as powerful as attack. The Mosasaurus dominated entire oceans. No aquatic predator was above it. And when it encountered something 1,000 times larger, it didn't hesitate. It attacked. Because that's what predators do. They don't know fear, only instinct. Now imagine if these dinosaurs had more time, more attempts, more opportunities to learn. The machines won because they had advantages that biology cannot match. Range, ammunition, speed. But the dinosaurs had something machines will never have. Instant adaptability. Instinct tested for millions of years. And a will to survive that cannot be programmed. And you know what that means? It means that in a battle between nature and technology, there's no weak side. There are only 2 titans, each with their strengths, each with their weaknesses. And when they meet, the result is epic, always. But what if we remove technology from the equation entirely? What if instead of machines, we put 2 apex predators against each other? What if a T-Rex faced a Spinosaurus? 2 giants, 2 different hunting strategies, 2 sets of weapons forged by millions of years. 1 battle, only one can win. If you want to see the ultimate dinosaur showdown, click on the video appearing on your screen right now. What if the deadliest dinosaurs fought each other, T-Rex versus Spinosaurus. Trust me, if you thought these battles were intense, that one will blow your mind. If you enjoyed this epic confrontation between dinosaurs and machines, smash that like button like a T-Rex biting into a helicopter. Seriously, hit it hard. Share this with that friend who loves action, science, and impossible battles. That friend who spends hours debating who would win in crazy fights. This video was made for them. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell because every week we bring you more confrontations that will explode your brain. And we're not exaggerating. We're preparing battles you can't even imagine. Velociraptor versus military drone, Triceratops versus armored train, Pteranodon versus F-22 Raptor fighter jet. Comment below which battle you want to see next. Your ideas aren't just welcome, they could become our next video. And tell us, which of these 3 battles left you most amazed? Was it the T-Rex leaping to catch the Apache? The Ankylosaurus withstanding explosions that destroy bunkers? Or the Mosasaurus attacking a nuclear aircraft carrier? Drop a comment. We want to know which battle was your favorite and why. Remember, in the confrontation between biology and technology, there's no easy victory. There's only respect for the force of nature and human ingenuity. Nature took millions of years to create perfect predators. Humanity took centuries to create machines that could rival them. And when these two titans meet, the result is always epic. Always unforgettable, always teaches us that underestimating either side is a fatal mistake. So here's the question for you. If dinosaurs like these still existed today, would our technology be enough? Could we coexist with them? Or would we have to completely rethink how we live, how we build, how we survive? These are questions we'll never have to answer in real life, but they're incredibly fun to explore. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. You're absolutely awesome for staying with us through all 3 epic battles. Your time and attention mean everything to us. Until the next battle, and always remember, nature deserves respect. Always. Now go watch that T-Rex versus Spinosaurus battle. You won't regret it.